What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. This time we're looking at specifically this Niners defense and the throttling of the Packers offense they did last Sunday night. This one's getting out a little bit late, but after watching a little bit of this game and then going back and watching the full thing, just a spectacle of a defensive performance by this 49ers defense. An outstanding job that I really wanted to shed light on. So in this, we kind of go through a little bit of what they do coverage-wise, how they really disguise things and were one step ahead of Rodgers, and then also their third down twist and blitz packages and how that really put them ahead of the eight ball in a lot of situations in this game. And then, of course, last but not least, the just pure athleticism of this defense and their ability to put offenses on their heels and especially win at the defensive tackle and edge spot. I believe that they are the best in the league when it comes to that. So with all that being said, guys, really quickly, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. Support the channel where we can, and we'll keep this thing going. But with all that being said, guys, let's dive on into this thing. All right, everybody, diving into this thing, we got 2nd and 10 for the Packers, and we're going to look at this 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 10 back-to-back because I think it shows how much the Niners defense complements each other and how they string together so many good plays in a row. So first things first, we got the 2nd down and 10. Niners are lining up in a bear front, okay? And now all you're going to see with it, there's technically, I guess, a double eagle because we have two backers here, but what we're going to see in a bear front is this nose tackle head up. We have our two defensive tackles who are playing on the inside shoulder of the tackle. He's in the gap, but really what they're playing is this guard's shoulder, okay? And then we have our two edge defenders on the outside, one of them being Nick Bosa and then 51 on the outside over here. Now the Packers are just going to try and run a really simple ISO, okay? Really this inside zone to the right with a wham by our fullback who's going to come across and wham Nick Bosa over here. But what I want to show you guys is just the violence, right, and the mobility that these Niners defensive lineman has. Watch 91 on this play as he just stuffs this guard, boom, right in his tracks, right? And the worst position you can be in for a guard, especially on plays like this, is when you're completely extended with this defensive tackle and now there's space in between you and him, right there. Okay, we have too much space. We've got this cat's too athletic, right? We're almost completely locked out with our legs right here with 77. We've gained no ground. And then on top of that, our shoulders are basically square to the line of scrimmage, basically parallel, right? So now we can give this tackle a two-way go, this defensive tackle. He does a great job of shoving his hand right into the chest of this guard and then diving in to make a play on this thing. Really just an outstanding job by 91 on this play. Really good run stuffing down from him. And then on the other side of this thing, our other 3-tech, right, number 99. I mean, when we talk about violence, athleticism, mobility, watch this dude just cave this thing down, almost takes the guard with him. I mean, that is an outstanding job, and that's why the Niners are in this front, right? You essentially, when you're in this bear double eagle front, you give your defensive linemen one-on-one matchups across the board. It's really hard to double team, right? It's hard to double team any of these guys because we have this cat out here who's at the edge. We have this cat who's filling into this B gap where our nose tackle is kind of two gapping on this thing. And then we've got this cat who's really playing in this B gap. But as soon as he sees this thing get handed off and he sees that quarterback's shoulders turn, I don't even know if he sees it, to be honest with you. He's just playing so damn violent that he's able to get across this formation and make a play on this thing. Just an outstanding job in showing the athleticism of this Niners defensive line. And then we go ahead and we take a look at this 3rd down that's coming up right here, right? 3rd down and 10 is 3rd and long against this Niners defense is almost a death sentence. I mean, they're going to throw some type of stunt at you. They're going to drop into coverage. We have this look right here where we have a bunch of guys on the line. We don't know who's coming. We don't know who's coming. We don't know who's dropping. We know someone's going to stunt, right? Out here, we got our two receivers who are trying to tell them, hey, we got a mismatch, right? We got one shallow, one deep, and they're going to combo us somehow. But the Niners do a great job of disguising this, and we're going to break this down. This is awesome. We're going to blitz with our nickel cornerback from the edge out here. You're trusting your guy to get there, right? We know you're going to get to the quarterback. We're going to put pressure on him, okay? Now, where are we dropping, right? We're going to drop with our, I believe it's this backer. It's going to be 29 who drops, and it's going to be one of these backers. Boom. The reason why they're dropping here is to take care of any crossers. Now, obviously, number 3 here trips. Rodgers, I think, is looking his way, but obviously he's not looking. He's stumbling. He's not going to be able to get the ball off. This is where you throw hot if you're a quarterback, but obviously we're stumbling and tripping 15 yards downfield, so no help there. Now, on the edge with this stunt, it's really pretty straight up, right? When we look at this thing from the end zone view, it's really pretty straight up, right? And teams are starting to do this more with these backers dropped. They'll add 3 defensive linemen to a side, and you just you overload one side and you force these guys to pick up stunts and twists in a short area, which is where a lot of the offensive linemen can struggle because there's so much chaos going on. But in this situation, these 2 are the ones who are twisting, and these 3 are just coming full go. Okay, now you're taking up every blocker on this side, and then remember, we're adding this nickel defensive back, right? We're adding this blitz on the outside. He does a really good job frictioning, and I actually didn't catch this to begin with, right? But if we bring this thing back, we'll see that he frictions this number 3 receiver, and that's why he stumbles. Watch as he's coming off the edge up here. He's going to friction that guy right there, right? We're going to friction number 3. It's within 1 yard to 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, so they're probably not going to call it. He might get away with one there, but who cares, man? You're doing your job as a nickel corner. You're frictioning that guy. You're bringing pressure, but it's to that 3 defensive lineman side, right? Where unless they call this out and 12 IDs him as the Mike, then we're not going to slide out to it. Right? This is now 12 has to ID that nickel back and say, I'm going to throw hot off of him if he comes, which he doesn't do in this situation. I think that he's looking for Jimmy Graham off the bat. And he's not there because he gets lost in the wash. Jimmy Graham is trying to friction Nick Bosa, which does not help the situation at all. And we end up getting smoked on this thing, right? And this isn't even really a twist from the Niners. This is just Nick Bosa being a beast and working to the inside shoulder of Bakhtiari and forcing pressure on this guy. I mean, this is organized chaos to a T as a defense. It is an outstanding defensive call, and it's really going to show you 3rd and 10 against this Niners front is an absolute death sentence. They're going to bring chaos. They're going to bring pressure, and it's going to be a bad time for you as an offense because you're going to have to figure out a ton of stuff in a short amount of time. All right, fellas, second drive of the game here. We got a 2nd down and 3 for the Packers. We're going to try and run counter against this Niners defense. All right, and what we're going to get with counters, we're going to get a combo with these 2 offensive linemen working this defensive tackle all the way to this backside backer. We're going to get a down block from the center on 93. 74 is going to try and kick out 91. Now, 2 guys I want to point out on this Niners defense is going to be 93, okay, who does an excellent job penetrating this play almost basically off the snap, and then 91, who does an outstanding job of squeezing this thing. All right, so first things first, watch 93 on this. As soon as that ball snapped, he's upfield. Right now, this center now, who usually has a down block and he's just really trying to wall things off, now he's chasing. He's on this dude's hip. 93 gets in front of 45, which is insane. Okay, he follows his polars, he gets right by 45, and then he ends up making the play on this thing. Just a savage play from 93 on this one. And the second guy that I want to take a look at is number 91 here. Look at how he comes down the line of scrimmage and squeezes this thing right there. Just a great job on that. Unless this back has no penetration, he's going to hit this thing right here. But again, we got 54 who's waiting, licking his chops, ready to make a play on this thing, or at least stuff the fullback 45 here and forcing him to bounce outside. It seems like this Niners defense is always in the right position. They're always in a position to make plays. And again, a big part of it is because of how athletic they are. Right, we have a ton of there's no really just straight up space eaters on this Niners defensive front. We have a bunch of mobile, athletic defensive linemen who are hungry, who are pinning their ears back every play and trying to make a play on this football. But again, you complement your defense. 2nd down and 3, we know they're going to be in a running down. So what are we going to do? We're going to try and really penetrate this thing, make a play in the backfield or stop them at the line of scrimmage, so that way we set them up with a 3rd and medium. Just an outstanding job from this Niners front, being gap sound and always being in the right spot. And it's one of the reasons why they're one of the best teams in the NFL right now. Just one more time, 91, just giving it to this guard, man. That's a great job spilling on that backer's flow. And then 93, rightfully so, gets his tackle for loss. All right, guys, nearing the end of the first quarter here, we got a 1st down and 10 for the Packers at their own 12, okay? What we're going to get defensively is we're going to get a spike across the board because we're bringing pressure from this field side. Okay, and the field is just the wide side of the field. This would be the boundary over here. This is the field on this side. So they're bringing field pressure on this away from the tight ends. Okay, now what that does, right, we're going to get a motion here from 85 that's going to bump everybody over. 20 is going to be the guy who brings the heat on this one. So we're going to spike inside with 97. We're going to spike across the center's face with 93, and that's going to open up a gap for 20 to hit, right? That's just where the schematics lay and how this is going to end up being gap sound. Now, the play is made from 93. right? This is an insane play, okay? Really tough for a center to block, too. I don't want to hang the center out to dry. This is tough to do, right? Because you're thinking you're going to step out to him. He's going to try and I probably work on this guard's shoulder, I imagine that's what I would be thinking at least. But he spikes right across your face. You're playing from behind, and he just gets in here for a big time play on that. You can just see, again, I'm repeating myself now, the athleticism of this Niners defensive front, not to be messed with. They do a great job of staying gap sound. Look at his number 20 here, just comes up to make the play on this. These guys are so well coached. That defensive coordinator out in San Francisco is doing such an outstanding job. Nobody's in the wrong position. Everybody's gaps out. They're rallying to the football, and they're just feeding off plays like this. And once again, it's why they are the most feared defense in the league, in my opinion. They have to be at this point. They're just such freak athletes across the board. I mean, look at this. Rodgers has no time to get rid of this thing, doing his best to improvise. It's just controlled chaos from this Niner group. They're always flying to the football, and you don't ever feel like you have them in a position where, okay, they're going to drop 8 and rally to the ball. They're going to drop 7 and rally. No, they're always pinning their ears back. They're always coming for you, and that's why they had the Packers scrambling on Sunday night. All right, guys, 3rd down and 8. Packers are moving the football here. They're on the San Francisco 35. Okay, and what I want to show you guys on this play is really the disguise and coverage. Okay, so quarterback-wise, we look at this thing and we see two deep safeties. All right, this corner's a little bit off, boundary corner. Usually the boundary corner is tight in cover 3, so with him being off, you're thinking maybe they're going to roll into a 3, right? But they roll into cover 1. Which is really cool about this thing because you're playing mind games with the quarterback. Obviously, and every NFL team's going to do this. This isn't unique to the 49ers. I just think that they do it so well. Now, why is he rolling that way? Because 17's right here. Okay, we know Rodgers is probably going to hit his favorite target in situations like this, a big 3rd down. We're going to roll this safety down. Boom, great job. Make a play on it. And not only that, but he makes that play short of the sticks, right? It's the awareness of this defense that stands out to me. Plays like this where they're really forcing this cue, right? You only got one spot to throw. We're covered up down at the bottom. Okay, we got 3 for 3. We're good to go. Right, but up top here, this middle of the field is going to end up widening out because they're in an empty formation, right? So this Mike Backer is going to be manned up with Jimmy Graham. We all know that. He's going to run a little out and up on that. That thing's not going anywhere, right? We know that's covered up. So we're going to roll our safety down to this side. We know he's going to throw there. We're forcing him to throw to that slant. Great job making that play short of the sticks. Now that leads me into the next play. Okay, 4th down and 1. Ball's on the 28. We got a 10-0 game at this point, folks. This thing is up for the taking, right? And what happens here? Niners line up in that bare front. Okay, again, we got our nose tackle. We got our 3-tech, our 2 edge defenders, our 3-tech on the other side. And the guys that I want to highlight on this play, 93, our 3-tech right here. I can't remember what number he is. And then 54. Just an outstanding job by all 3 of these guys. Okay, 96 it looks like it is. All right, but watch how 96, 93, and 54, these 3 make this play. All right, now the Packers are going to run inside zone to their right away from the tight end. When you do that, you get more double teams. That's why teams like to do that. But when you run this bare front, you have 5 cats on the line of scrimmage, or really 4 when you cut off this tackle. Okay, now not necessarily 4 when you cut off the tackle, but you get what I'm saying, right? We're trying to create double teams. But the problem is that you're never going to get to 54 with this double team. But you have no choice. You can't double team anywhere else. You can't double down here because this cat's too athletic. He's going to cut through this gap and make a play. So they double team with their 3-tech right here, and just an outstanding job of 96 bench pressing this dude again, creating that space in between the guard. Right now he's got a chance to move. Look at him stiff arm this dude right in his chest. Don't call it hands to the face. I hate that penalty. It's stupid. Happens all the time in football. It's a buzzkill. Okay, 93, again, watch how he reestablishes this line of scrimmage. Bench presses that center into the backfield. That's an outstanding job, right? And then 54, Warner does a great job filling that A-gap, reading where that back's going to go. 93 puts his bear claw out there. He's going to get a piece of him, and they're stacking this guy up for a turnover on downs. I mean, Sunday, Santa Clara must have just been buzzing because it was just an outstanding performance from that Niner defense. All right, guys, next play we're taking a look at here. We have a 1st and 10 at the Green Bay 32, and really this one's all about the coverage for me. Okay, the Packers are going to run a really quick RPO-ish. It's really just a play fake, and then we're going to try and hit an out route out here. But the reason why that we're looking for this really quick 5-yard out is because to the naked eye, this looks like cover 3. right? We have our deep safety, corners are off, right? We're looking like we're gonna drop back into 3, let stuff happen in front of us. There's no way he's gonna get out to rally to this 5-yard out. We're gonna have to come up on him with the corner, and that's who's gonna make the play. But at the last second, this cat right here, 29, drops back, and we roll this thing almost into a 2, right? It's either going to be 2 or 4 in this position. What makes me say 2 is because Richard Sherman comes up on it, but he's a salty vet who probably knows exactly what's going on, and that's why he rolled. It's probably going to be 4. But it's just the coverage disguise, right? This thing gets taken away in a heartbeat. Look at it. You can see Richard Sherman clapping his hands on this because he knows he's got him. Okay, right off the snap, boom, we think we've got it, but we got 2 dudes right here. Richard Sherman's going to come up on this thing and make a play. That's why Rodgers pumps on this, and there's nothing there. So just showing you guys kind of a little bit of the coverage disguises that'll go on in San Francisco, what they'll do, especially with quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. You've got to be one step ahead, and that's exactly what they do in this position. It does look like they're going to drop into a 4, let stuff happen in front of them, and then play to it. But again, those defensive linemen are coming, man. There's an aggressive defense, and you better bring your A game because Lord knows they're going to bring it. But, they outsmarted 12 on this one, and he just kind of threw it out of bounds for an incomplete pass. Kills the drive. It doesn't kill the drive, but it's definitely a buzz kill, and it's tough to deal with as an offense going from 1st and 10 straight into 2nd and 10, not the position you want to be in. All right, fellas, we're going to get a 3rd and 5 from the Green Bay 40 on this one. And something that's so great about this 49ers defense is the talent that they have at the edge position, right? With Nick Bosa and then 94 on the other side, I believe that's Solomon Thomas. They just let those guys go. They know that they're going to be able to get favorable matchups with almost every tackle in the league, right? There's not a ton of tackles who are going to be able to take these guys. Bakhtiari does a good job sitting on that, but Nick Bosa's he's at the dinner table at that working up against that right tackle. On the interior, though, is where they get creative, and really creative is they don't do a ton of stuff that's really complicated. Like I said, they're just way more athletic than you are up front. So we're going to get a crosser here from our defensive tackle. He's just going to work straight into the center, and he's trying to take up space. And then we're going to loop both our defensive tackle and our backer around to this left side, and that's where we end up freeing up space with 99. Again, it's just the ability of 91 to work through. He's a big body. He works right through the center, does a great job working in that center, right into that guard. Jumping on a grenade for your teammate, and you can see 99 work up there, and he's in on the sack. But the other one is just Nick Bosa being a human freak on this, just a freak of nature, working around 70. He just tosses him at the end, too. Jesus, I didn't even see that the first time. I mean, this kid is a specimen of a human football player. Just an outstanding job. Throws him at the end. He's in on the sack. Outstanding job from this Niners defense. Once again, putting that pressure on in 3rd down, and sitting at the dinner table getting ready to eat. So that unfortunately, there was a defensive holding. I hate refs because they do stuff like that. An outstanding twist, a great pressure, and they take it away with the flag. So it ends up setting the Packers up for a 1st and 10. But an outstanding pressure and a really good job to end the 3rd quarter by the Niners. All right, guys, that last clip is actually going to do it for us. This Niners defense is just so special, so athletic. They really are the best in the league, if not top 3. Just leaning on off. It's not even like it's a slow death when you're playing against the Niners. It's they are pinning their ears back. They're coming for you, and they're going to force you into a mistake. If you don't, then they are going to lean on you, and they're just going to grind on you with their running game, and they're going to put up 37 or 35 like they did in this game. But with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, it would mean the world to me. But with all that being said, guys, I'm the Hook Cam, and I will see you next time.